All right, a solo one. Definitely gonna represent Trusty Brewing. I know Gary would appreciate that. Um, yeah, a lot of stuff, good stuff going on. Um, oh, and I did. You can kind of see the mic on the mic stand. It's so funny. The microphone's awesome, but the little crappy tabletop tripod stand that it comes with is just a piece of crap. So it breaks all the time. And then the last time it broke, I went over to Beacock Music here in Vancouver. I was like, "Hey, can you just get me a good tabletop mic stand that would work with this? You know, it's threaded on the bottom here, so you can thread it onto something." Ordered one, paid more than I probably should have, and they had to order it for me. But then I came back home, and I realized that this mic came with an attachment, so I can put it on like a boom mic stand. I've been using this mic for almost a year. It was recommended by Paul Young after our virtual podcast that I did, because he had one of these and I was just using my laptop microphone, and he sounded way better than me. But he recommended it, and I don't know how I missed the fact that it came with this attachment, so I can just put it on the end of a boom mic stand. Um, which makes it very versatile, but still, it'd be nice to just have a good, sturdy tabletop mic stand, so I can just do the USB thing. I don't have to bring this boom mic stand. I can just literally be at a Starbucks or wherever, just on a tabletop, and USB to my computer, um, and have it a stable microphone. So it just sits there, because this is a studio microphone. It's a condenser mic, so it has a big halo of what it picks up. Um, but I just needed a more reliable stand. The mic's awesome. The stand that it came with sucks. So anyway, I will. I'll go pick up the one that I got from Beacock Music. Definitely like to support local, so shout out to them. Um, and I can use that. But now it's nice to know that if I just want to put it on a boom stand, because I have three of these. That makes it easy. Yeah, and actually, my last session with Lindsay, it was funny because I did this. I set it up like this, and she saw it in frame in the video. It was a virtual session, but it made her think about the. She's like, "Are you still doing the podcast?" I'm like, "Yes, of course I am." But it works. I do definitely want to give at least one or two shout outs here. Happy birthday to my Uncle Oscar, August 23rd. So that would have been yesterday, Friday. He finally turned 30. No, I'm kidding. He had a bunch of plans on Friday, so I luckily have Thursdays off. So I went down there on Thursday and took him out to dinner to the Wild Hair OC, Wild Hair, Oregon City. Great food. Servers were amazing. And just had a really good conversation with him. Got him a card and signed it for everybody that couldn't be there. Obviously, my brother's in Tennessee, and I know Cheryl and Francis would have liked to have been there. My daughter was out of town, and her husband Alex and Pam. But it just didn't work out that they could be there. But yeah, it was awesome. And I just got the card for him, and then because he has been such an important part of my entire life, but I've definitely gotten much closer to him since my mom passed. Because he's the last, like, you know, I mean, those last 2 weeks of my mom in the hospital, she was, we had a lot of great talks, and she was like, selfless as she always is, she was worried about everybody else, and she was like, make sure you take care of Oscar. So I made that promise, and I would have anyway, of course. But yeah, Oscar is the youngest of his siblings, and he's here in Oregon City. We do have some family in Medford, cousins. He has his good friend Joan, who's in West Lynn. But I'm kind of the last direct family member that's in the area. So, and I haven't been as attentive as I should be. Life happens. But yeah, it was really awesome to go down there and have dinner with him. We had great conversation. Like I'm getting to know, I've known the guy. I'm 52 now. I feel like I've gotten closer to him in the last 3 years than I did the first 49 years. Um, so there's uh, again, a lot of good things. I hate to say it that way, but my mom's passing, and even our dad's passing, created a lot of good connections with family and friend members that maybe we neglected in the past. So, but yeah, it was a great conversation just hanging out with him, um, and got him a card, and he read it, and I just admitted, I was like, dude, I don't know what you have. Everything, you don't need anything. I don't know what you're the hardest person to buy for. And he was great. He was like, look, I don't want gifts. He's like, I'm trying to downsize. I'm trying to unclutter my house. So I'm glad you didn't buy me a gift because I'm trying to get rid of shit. I think he just appreciates the company. But yeah, he is a really good person, and always has been kind of the rock um, of our family. Always in the background though. Never wanted credit, but he was the one you always knew you could count on, and always stepped up. Didn't need accolades. So yeah, that was awesome. So happy birthday to Oscar. Um, I will tell this amazing story that just happened. Because, well, there's a couple things. Got to see the Foo Fighters finally. Um, I was familiar with the music, but then in 2013, when they released that documentary Back and Forth about the origin story of how Dave formed the band, instantly became a super fan. I love the backstory. Got to kind of get to know all the members of the band. They're all really good people. Um, and that got me into the music because even like the Eagles documentary, History of the Eagles, you forget how many songs that these bands made that you kind of forget, like, oh, that was the Eagles, oh crap, that one was too. And then same thing happened with Foo Fighters. When I watched that documentary, I was like, oh, that's right, that was Foo Fighters. I had some of them, I didn't even realize it was them, but God, they are just amazing musicians, amazing artists, and amazing people. So they played Providence Park here on was it Friday, August 16th, I think. And it was super cool. So I like a month before, and I've told several friends and coworkers and stuff the story, but I checked on tickets like a month before, and even the 300 level, or sorry, Providence Park doesn't have a 300 level, but even the nosebleed seats there, um, tickets were still going for like $300 each. And I was like, okay, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to wait. Day of the concert, I will get back on, because you couldn't buy it directly from whether it was Ticketmaster or Live Nation. I forgot who was promoting it, but you couldn't get it directly from them. They were sold out. So you had to go to the aftermarket, all the ticket brokers. And I was like, you know what? I'll wait, because I know day of the concert, they're going to want to dump the tickets and they'll drop the prices. And yeah, day of that concert, I got online and got an amazing seat, $79. I was on the side of the stage. If you're looking at the stage, I was to the right, but I wasn't behind the stage. I was still far enough forward that I could see the whole stage. Um, First level, right off the actual turf. And of course, they set up an amazing speaker system. They had towers, just like Kenny Chesney does, or any major act at a stadium. They had speaker arrays on towers at the, like, farther away from the stage to reach everybody that was far away. But then on the side of the stage, they set up speaker arrays. So my seat, like there was an entire array of speakers pointed right at my gosh damn face. And I will say this, not in a bad way, but yes, I had to put earplugs in. I was smart enough to bring earplugs because I knew it was going to be a little bit louder than Kenny Chesney was, or is, because it's rock music. Great though. So I put the earplugs in as soon as they started, and it was amazing because I have never seen them live. But again, after becoming a super fan and watching all the documentaries and watching just random interviews with Dave Grohl and knowing the story about Taylor Hawkins and that they lost him during the pandemic and it fucking sucked, and they have this new amazing drummer, John Freeze, who has a history himself. Awesome guy. The entire band is just fucking awesome. So I was like, you know what? They're actually playing in Portland. If I can do this, if I can justify it, I have to go. And so yeah, for $79, bought a single ticket and went there. Great seats, great location, and it was super cool to be in what's now Providence Park, because I have so much history with that stadium. I remember watching Portland State football games there in the 80s when Chris Crawford was taking Portland State to Division II national title games, or was it Division III? Anyway, like Portland State football in the mid to late 80s was like really fucking good. And I remember watching so many games, and I watched the Portland Breakers. The 1 year that Portland had an actual professional football team, even though it was USFL, it wasn't NFL. But yeah, what the owners of the Timbers and the Thorns and all that have done with the renovation. I had not been in the stadium since the renovation. It is frigging amazing. It's like a real stadium now. 30,000 people got to see the Foo Fighters there. It was awesome. So now, selfishly, I'm hoping that maybe now that it's a concert venue, that Kenny Chesney will decide to make a stop on his tour next summer, because we always have to go see him in Seattle, but maybe he'll make a stop in Portland. That'd be a lot easier for me. A lot cheaper also. But yeah, the concert was incredible. All right, so that thing had to get out of the way. And then the other thing just happened literally yesterday, last night. I have Fridays off. I got a lot accomplished. Took care of some household chores, did some shopping. There's always stuff on the to-do list, errands you have to run or chores to do or whatever. And then I'm obviously doing this into the guitar thing. Like, I'm ridiculous about the guitar thing. I love going out and seeing like acoustic sets. Just a singer-songwriter, a person with a guitar performing. I love those intimate venues, or those intimate performances. So I was just sitting here doing laundry and hanging out, and I noticed that grapes and hops. Is that what they call themselves? It's a tap room over here right next to the QFC on 192nd. But they had a live live music, which I didn't know they were doing that. But her name was Brenna Larson. She is local. I think grew up in Camas. But just an acoustic singer-songwriter. And she's like, performing 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll go check that out, because it's like 5 minutes from my house. And as my close friends and family will know, I am super annoying about the fact that I take my guitar everywhere. Like, I'm literally the scene in the Barbie movie where all the Kens are on the beach playing guitars for all the Barbies. Like, that's me. I've gotten better about it now that I have seen the movie and I realized how annoying that is. But yeah, I take my guitar everywhere because I never know where I might end up, and I just might want to play. Not like for people, but I just want my guitar, and if I get inspired by a location I'm at, like the week before, I hiked Beacon Rock, went to the top, took my guitar up there, and just played at the top of Beacon Rock for like 45 minutes. It was friggin' amazing. What a great venue. So anyway, I see that Brenna Larson is doing a acoustic set at Grapes and Hops. Again, I think is the name of the place, that tap room. Anyway, so I didn't get there at the start of her set. She was playing from 6 to 8 p.m. And I think I got there about 7:10 or 7:15 to catch the end of it. And, you know, amazing voice, great guitar player. I'm just chilling out, listened to like 3 or 4 songs, maybe more. And right around, I think it was 7:30, she was doing a song and she breaks a string. Like I can see her playing, and then I started noticing. I was like, "Whoa, I think that's a broke string." She finished the song, obviously, and then addresses it. She's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a short break here. Have to work through some technical issues or whatever she said." And I'm just watching, and I see her diving into her guitar case. It's a soft pack like mine. Going through, she's pulling out the things that if you get guitar strings, they come like folded in little cardboard things, and each string is in its own cardboard container. And I see her just looking. It's almost like dealing cards. She's looking through it, and then I can see her just put it down and go, and then she gets on her phone and she's calling somebody, and I realized the string she broke, she doesn't have a replacement. I think she probably had all the other 5 strings in her guitar case, but the one that she broke, she did not have a backup. And I, being me, being the annoying Ken, had thrown my guitar in my car when I drove down to see her, because the only reason I did that, I was like, oh, I'm going to watch her play, and then after that, I might go to a park or the waterfront and just busk. Just play. So I want to bring my guitar because you never know when I might want to play. So I'm watching her, and I kind of realize what's happening. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to seem so weird, but I'm going to offer it. So I stood up and I went over and I was like, oh, you broke a string, right? And I'm guessing you don't have a replacement. And she's like, no. And I go, I honestly said, this is going to seem so gosh damn weird and random, but, I actually, and I lied. Cause it seems weird that some guy at a tap room or whatever that showed up would happen to have a guitar in his car. Why would I have a guitar in my car? So I made up a story, and I just told her, yeah, I just came from a lesson, so I happen to have my guitar in my car. Do you want to just finish your set with my guitar? And she was like, oh yeah. So I went out and grabbed it, brought it in, and I was like, here, it's super easy. It should be tuned. I just played it. It's real close, and put your guitar strap on it because mine sucks. I love mine, but it tends to come undone. Anyway, and she threw it on. I showed her, the volume here. It's an acoustic electric, and then she proceeded to finish her set for another at least 20, 25 minutes. I think she played 4 songs on it, and it was seamless. And it was such an honor. I was like, holy shit, you're making, and I told her in between songs, I was like, you're making my guitar sound so much better than I can. And then obviously we talked after or whatever, and I came to find out that she is born and raised, I think, in the Camas area, but she went to the Berklee College of Music in Boston. So she's like a proper, well-trained musician with a great voice. And that made it even better. And I took some video of her. It was like, you are performing these amazing songs with my guitar. It was such an honor. And I think I told her it was an honor to have you play my guitar. Super cool just moment. And I'll give a shout out to Sparrow about this. Where, what is it? What's her saying? Her mantra. Love and connection through music. I just made a connection and shared, love, shared good feelings. because because I'm annoying and I carry my guitar everywhere. I happen to have it in my car, and she broke a fucking string. It's almost as cool as the scenario or the fantasy that most people have, where you go to see your favorite band at a rock show, and then you know right before the show somebody says, "Oh, the lead singer has laryngitis." Does anybody know the lyrics? Can somebody step up here and sing? And then you know become a rock star, and you I was like, that was kind of like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I had a guitar, and you finish your set with it. And it was funny too because the beer tender there, I don't know his name, but he was obviously watching this happen. And at one point, after I had already given her the guitar and she was plugging it in and just trying to fine tune it and get the volume level right, I heard him just like go, "What are the odds?" He's like, "What are the odds that some random guy showed up to see your gig? You break a string, you don't have a replacement, and he happens to have an acoustic electric in his car." It was friggin' amazing. So yeah, shout out to Brenna Larson. You have an amazing voice, very talented, obviously, and it was truly an honor to have you play my guitar, and I'm super happy that I could help you finish your gig. So you guys should look her up if anybody watches this episode. Brenna Larson, Brenna, and then Larson with an Sen, I believe. But she's all over social media. So yeah, and I'm still just. I went to work, today, Saturday, was my first day back at work. And of course I had to annoy all my coworkers by showing them the video of her playing my guitar. And of course she did and one of the songs I recorded, she did Fleetwood Mac, which is amazing. A shout out to Anne, who loves Fleetwood Mac. And then of course she did a Britney Spears song. So I had to share that with, Dawn Nutt. I was like, you played Britney Spears on my guitar and it sounded amazing. So yeah. All right, that's 22 minutes. That was just video journaling. Oh yeah, so and if y'all don't believe me, that's the guitar. And if anybody looks at the video I posted on my Facebook page, you will recognize the Susto sticker, Susto a band, and then Montana Whiskey. So there's no debate that it was actually my guitar she was playing. So, yeah, it was just very inspirational. So I kind of love those. I just love those random moments when things work out, and we should all be appreciative of it. So, all right, good vibes to everybody. I appreciate all of you, family, friends, coworkers. Really appreciate that you guys are in my life because, it's the reason I do the podcast. And I always say it. Every time I talk to somebody, I learn something. I get a different perspective, and it helps me kind of evolve as a human being. So, love you all. I do have some more guests lined up. So again, it's not going to be a bunch of solo podcasts. I promise you won't have to keep hearing me ramble, but love y'all. And looking forward to Labor Day weekend. I hope everybody is happy, healthy, and safe. Cheers.